Child, y'all, what is going on? I was minding my business, flipping through social media in the bed. Okay, I'm still in the bed. Okay, I am on my cell phone, so I hope y'all can hear me clearly. Okay, and when I am up here, sir, well, first of all, hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee, the JayLee's Corner. Y'all don't do like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You can follow me on social media at JayLee's Corner. Okay, but I was sitting around here, and I'm not gonna get on camera because look, y'all, I am in the bed. Okay, so I will not be on camera. I popped on IG Live. And I was like, Jesus, this is crazy. I'm probably share this on my YouTube. I was like, nah, girl, just go ahead over there on YouTube and get it done. Okay. Look, y'all. Diddy said, I want to get it over with. Okay. One day, one day after the lawsuit was filed and all of the accusations came out, Diddy said, wait, no, wait, it go Diddy's. We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best love. Okay. And Cassie said, and girl, I do not have my glasses on, so I can't see it on my glasses. It says, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably. Okay. I can't see. Hold on, y'all gotta pull it up. I can't see what it say. It's too small. It's too small. 'Cause I don't have my glasses on. Oh, terms for that. Girl, this is so crazy. Oh, on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank from my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. That was so hard to read. It's so small on my phone. But again, they both posted a statement per the New York Times. Okay, this is all per the New York Times. It's all breaking news because it's breaking. Okay, we just read the stuff yesterday. Okay, we just had a whole breakdown of all 35 pages of the accusations. Okay, and I see that, and also before we know his lawyers were saying, oh, for about 6 months she's been trying to blackmail him and shake down and was requesting 30 million because folks kept on saying, where they get 30 million from? The 30 million number came from Diddy's lawyers and them saying that that's what Cassie was doing. But again, one day after all of that, they settled. Now, look, we don't know for how much. We don't know the amounts, okay? But I feel like Diddy did not want to have to have this go to court. Diddy did not want any more accusations, any more speculation, any more other people being able to come forth and say, hey, I saw this. Hey, I saw that. Because I always say this, if you did not do what somebody said you did, there's no reason to settle. None. None. And to settle after the accusations come out, it makes you look guilty. Guilty. And right, it was, hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? It was fast. It was meaning I feel like Diddy knew something was on. Well, we know Diddy knew because his lawyers and was saying how for the past 6 months it's been a back and forth situation. And how she was saying she was gonna write a book, but she did not write the book, she did a lawsuit. So part of me feel like, was he like waiting? Was he prepared? He knew I'm gonna need some money to pay her. And so let me just pay her. Now again, we do not know how much money or what the settlement was. Okay. Because even in the lawsuit was for unspecified amounts of money. And it could be for 30 million, it could be for 50 million, it could be 400 million. I don't know. I don't know. But if his lawyers was saying beforehand that they was trying to get 30 million and she turned that down, that to me means she has to have gotten more than that if they settled. Because if she didn't say okay to 30 million, she wouldn't settle for less than that after she came out with the accusations. And y'all know one thing too. Once the accusations come out, people gonna still feel like what she said was actually true. Now, I always feel like, somebody is accused of something, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But I also feel like if you around here and you just saying, oh, okay, let's settle, it makes it seems like, well, there's some truth to the accusations. Because why settle so fast? Like, why not even attempt? Like, the lawyers yesterday was like, oh, he's vehemently denying that any of this is true. And for the following day to say, hey, we did a little settlement. I feel like, then why say yesterday that none of it was true? Because if none of it is true, I'm not settling. I'm going to at least go to court. I'm going to at least try to defend myself in some kind of way. So I feel like I just would not. I don't want to. I don't think it's smart for people to settle before they even try to defend themselves. I feel like when you settle before you attempt to defend yourself and say what you said happened, it makes it seem like it's truth to it. Because why settle so fast? Why let it be so fast? If she's lying and if what she said was not truth, what's the point of settling so fast? So to me, that makes him look more guilty than he did before, in my opinion. But for them both to come out and say, "Hey, we gonna settle. It's a settlement. We both want to move on." But even her saying that she wanted to be able to have a level of control of the whole situation, because I feel like because she probably felt like he controlled her for so long. He was overbearing and overpowering for so long. She probably never felt like she had any real power. That would make sense as to why she's now saying, I wanted to be able to, when I decided to, receive a settlement. You know what I'm saying? But only if I'm able to control some things. I think, I mean, It makes sense. I get it. I fully understand it. Someone's gonna pick this up and investigate. I was on CNN. It's not spread. When I was on Twitter earlier, and I seen somebody asking a question of why BET had not like even posted the news story, and but I was saying when I posted on Twitter, I was like, I felt like nobody was really talking about these accusations. Everybody was real hush hush, a little bit, little bit, little bit. Usually, if something this big happens, if something this huge happens, all the networks, all the social sites, BT, MTV, all that stuff is usually discussing it. And this time, it really wasn't on the major blogs. Like, why didn't BT pick it up? Why didn't MTV? You know what I'm saying? Why did these piece of people not even report? I was watching The View. Even The View did not comment on it. I'm like, when, when other people have been accused of these same things, it usually like it's a story. It was a story on social media, on some of the blogs. But I also feel like a lot of networks or people chose not to do this deep dive conversation into the accusations. Even some of the radio shows, Hot 97, The Breakfast Club, and those, like, I felt like they did not even really discuss things how usually they do. Some of these DJs and actors and people who are usually around this stuff, they be having insight into this and what they think that, and that did not happen. That's why Wendy Williams' name was trending, because so many people feel like had she been around and still doing stories, it would have been on her show all week. Right. Tasha K, I think Tasha K probably talked about it on her behind her paywall, you know. So I think that may be where she did. I'm not sure, because I haven't really, I have not really, the only, who did I watch? I watched It's Rocks did her discussion about it today. Alex and Chris were doing their pop roast, which had just came on. Those are the only people who stuff I've seen talk about it, but I think other folks have, discussed it here and there. I just haven't watched everybody's stuff. But it's weird that I don't really recall people diving deep. Now, Tasha K had spoke about things before with R. Kelly. She had one of his exes on, a couple years ago. I think was it her name? I think her name was Gia. I can't think what the girl name is. But that girl was also saying that how he had been abusive to her in one way or the other. Um, but the fact that like Cassie didn't even do an interview. You know, Usually with these kind of things, you have the interview here or there, you know, but it's like it can't. Lawsuit filed yesterday, all over the news yesterday. Diddy said, "I'm not, I didn't do it," through his reps. All that happened yesterday, and then today, at almost the end of the night, for it to come out that they had a settlement. I feel like they probably been trying to come to an amount of money for her not to speak her piece. And when she kept on saying that ain't enough, that ain't enough, that ain't enough, and she did a lawsuit, and her lawyer is the same lawyer who handled some of the Harvey Weinstein victims. So I don't think what she did was a money grab. I think what she did was, you're gonna pay me for my pain. A money grab means I'm dating somebody, right? And they did some dirt, nothing bad. But I know, and I'm using this for an example. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm using this as an example, because I've seen some folks say it was a money grab. A money grab means I'm dating you and me and you together for a while. While we were together, I seen all the freaky dicky things that you like to do that don't hurt me, that did not affect me. It's just your freaky things. You like to, if he like watching dick sucking videos, okay, that's some freaky dicky that he like, that may be embarrassing if it became public. If he like to, suck dirty toes, that's disgusting. So that's something that does not affect her. But if it came out, it can be embarrassing. To me, a money grab is when you have information on your ex partner and you have either embarrassing things or just things that they don't want to be out. And so you say, if you do not pay me this money, I'm gonna tell people that you like to watch, chicken eating videos and then sucking the drumstick. I'm gonna tell folks that, and they pay you to be quiet. That's a money grab. When someone says, "While dating you, you were a horrible person to me, and you broke me down in so many ways, and you abused me in different ways, and you made me feel like crap in different ways, and I have the right to speak my truth over my trauma to heal myself." That's not a money grab. That's just speaking out against somebody who abused you. Thank you. Right, a money grab is a dude talking about Will Smith. That's a money grab. That's somebody who is spreading information about you that will embarrass you. They tell you if you don't pay them, that they will expose you. So he did a money grab. She said, "No, this is what I lived through." You know, and right, the 35-page complaint, which is line by line and extremely detailed account of what she said happened over the years. Reading it makes you feel like, oh, he was really a POS. He was really out here being mean and disrespectful, and it's a monster to her. And then she, she was just there taking it because she felt like she could not escape because of who he was. And the simple fact that the day after he has this big accusation, that he's able to settle, meaning he has enough money to shut her up. But my thing is, the damage is done. That's one thing we always say. Like, when we say things like, if somebody accuses somebody of RAP and the E, if somebody accuses somebody of RAP and the E, that even if it's not true, once the accusation is out, it's out. No one really will forever. There's not a chance where everyone that hears the accusation does not think it's true. Even when some people are accused of that and they are found innocent, some people still feel like they're guilty. So, the accusation she made, the details of all the situations, it's like no one is going to look at him and be like, "Oh, he didn't do it. He didn't do it." And that's why I said I would have at least attempted to defend myself publicly. When somebody publicly accuses you of what she accused him of, that we went over here, because I'm not gonna repeat it today, because it is this. Once somebody accuses you of that, you don't want to defend yourself at all. Like, you don't want to put out no kind of actual statement or proof that you didn't do it, or at least just try to let people know, I didn't do all of that. You know, and that's the hard part about being accused of something. You then have to prove that you're innocent. You have to prove that you did not do what you're being accused of doing. And if you never take the time to say, "Hey, even if he say, well, I was, physically abusive to her, like we did, I did put my hands on her, but I never RAP in the E her." Like, to not even specify what parts really is not true, and to pay a person off the following day to reach a settlement the following day. And I'm like, that's like, is your lawyers good or bad? Because they can settle this before the accusation became public. Because again, and I'm not defending them at the all. At the all. I'm just saying, ain't no point in selling when we all feel like you did that shit. Like, for me, settling the case You did this. You did it. You did it. You're guilty. Because why not go to court? And a part of me feel like she has been keeping track of all what she went through. Because sometimes I think people don't realize this is when some people are living in a world of, abuse and misguided ways and just, living with a monster, you keep track of stuff because you feel like if I don't make it another day, there is some trace of what I've been living through for a while. There's some, trackpad of what has happened. And I feel like him just saying, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna settle." And when it came out, "Oh, I deny any of that." But the next day you settle. The next day. Well, let's see. He knows he's guilty. He didn't want to take it to court because she has more dirt on him that implement him in something deeper. I bet that's possibly true. That's possibly true. He might as well, not he might as well go movie with Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons over there in the Bahamas somewhere. But that is true. You think about it, you had, the stuff that came out about Russell Simmons. You now have this about and this is the thing. This coming out about Diddy, it doesn't mean that if other people have accusations against him as well, that they may not also come out and get him. Russell fled the country started forward. I'm not gonna do that. Russell left the country and has not came back. Like he was like, I'm not dealing with none of it. I ain't got no money for y'all. I ain't got no time for y'all. I'm out. With Aura of the Kelly, who, was found not guilty years ago, kept doing foolishness and then is ass back in jail now. Like it can go in different ways because, truth be told, Aura of the Kelly, Russell of the Simmons, Didi of the Puff, all are accused of basically taking advantage of people in their lives and forcing them to do things, coercing them to do things, brainwashing folks into doing things, and making people feel like you are the powerful person and that they don't have a choice but to do what you want them to do. And as we see, the situation between Diddy, Aura of the Kelly, and Russell of the Simmons all were handled differently. Where Aura of the Kelly is in jail, Russell Simmons left the country, and Diddy settled the lawsuit. So each of them handled it in a whole different way, even though they're all kind of sort of accused of the same thing, or they're accused of doing the same thing in different ways. you know. And I do wonder going forward, knowing that Diddy settled, like with any, like if he do interviews, will anybody ask him about it? Like, so you were sued by Cassie. Didn't want to say anything because even though the settlement may include, okay, Cassie, you can't further, like, we're gonna settle for this amount and for the under these rules, and you can't publicly, you can't write no book about me. You know, you can't do any interviews about those accusations in your court filing. And you can't bring forth any further accusations against me because what she put in that thing, she don't need to put like all what she wrote in the complaints. If more than that happened, if that's just the part that she felt comfortable enough to put in writing, and there's more things that she can put into a book, or it's more things that she can talk about in an interview, that's even crazier. So part of me feel like whatever the settlement was, whatever amount of money it was, because the settlement to me is not just a money thing. The settlement to me is it's going to be money wise. It's also going to be rules into what she can and can't say about him going further. Now, remember when he was giving back his artists their publishing, we had discussed Aubrey O'Day, who was the one saying, well, he was having all the artists sign these NDAs and these contracts that they could not speak negatively about Diddy or any entity that's attached to him. And it almost feels like Diddy knew this was coming down the pipeline. It feel like if what Aubrey said is true, and Diddy was having people, allegedly sign those NDAs or those contracts, making them agree to not discuss him in any negative way, him or anything tied to him. It feel like he knew this was coming, even if his other artists did not know what's coming. And once they felt like, oh, Kathy coming forward, if Kathy coming forward, then we can too. And that opens it up to a whole like a class that can then be a class action lawsuit, because when somebody is sued by a group of people because that one person or that one entity did something wrong to all those people, that could be a class action lawsuit that can not only bankrupt Diddy, Bad Boy, and any other entity that is attached to him. And I don't know if he thought, well, settling fast, settling quick will nip it in the bud. Because if it's settled, nobody will talk. No, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. Boom. As arrogant and narcissistic as he is, if this wasn't true, he would have been shouting from the rooftops that she's lying. She told the truth, period. I agree. I agree. And the crazy part is, not only now do he look a little bit, guilty, guilty, guilty. Like his family, his kids. Everybody is going to look at everyone sideways, even his sons, because if Diddy is a crazy maniac, as the person that Cassie describes in her lawsuit that's now settled is of a person who was crazy and deranged. And if what she put in that lawsuit is actually factual, and that means that a crazy deranged person raised them kids, how we know how them kids is? How do we know? So it's like, I just feel like paying her doesn't stop anything. Paying her doesn't help anything. Cause I still think he did that shit. I do. That's why when it came out that he settled, all the comments I saw was like, "Oh, he's guilty, guilty." Like nobody felt like, "Oh, this means he's innocent." Oh, he didn't do anything. Oh, he felt. It's like no, it's because I was like, "What the hell? What the hell?" Because it came out the blue. I was like, "Not they settled. They settled. Like they settled." And I think because none of us knew this lawsuit was coming. That's part one. No one knew the lawsuit was even coming. And then to not know it's coming, it hit. It's explosive. It's extremely detailed. And we can then remember time where things just looked a little bit fishy. And then, even just hearing from other people how they had heard things here, heard things there. And nothing was like off limits of, well, it was, hiring the male prostitutes. It was him being, physically abusive. It was him, being intimidating to other people who she tried to intertwine with, be that other musical managers, other musical people, with Kid Cudi, even the fact what she described how he allegedly hung what was dangling her friend over the balcony, of a hotel, and they had to pay her off. So it's like all these things is crazy. Child. All I know is I said I am not getting out of my bed because I was trying to rest today, because it's like it's reading that damn the complaint. Yeah, it was so draining to read all of that. And I was like, "Child, I need a break." We are the twins. Because remember, the twins and the daughter Chance are close in age. I think Chance, I think is the oldest. So if the twins are 16, Chance probably turning 17. Because I think they're less than a year apart. Because Kim and Chan's mama I think her name is it Sarah Vaughn? Some Vaughn. Were pregnant around the same time. So, but that's why I said too, because I was live on IG earlier today. My IG cut off because my sister called me and the call interrupted it. And I was saying how um people, damn, what was I finna say? I forgot. My brain is on pause. But my point, because I'm like, what was I supposed to say? Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I said how I felt that he probably got less volatile after Kim Porter died because one, he was devastated that somebody he had a very strange, tumultuous relationship with was now gone, but because he then had to become a full time dad to them daughters who were because she died in 2018, so the girls were younger then, so Diddy had to become Father Diddy. So part of me felt like he became less of a monster after Kim Porter died because he had to be more hands on with the girls. But he still, honey, is a monster because monsters don't go away like that. They may calm down, they may not be as ferocious, but a monster will always be a monster. Um, but he gonna reap what he sow, and that's what Kimora, see, I don't have all my stuff because Kimora Lee had came out, had posted, you reap what you sow, and then D Woods came out in support of Cassie, so many people was coming out the woodwork like this slowly but surely siding with Cassie, and because we've heard things over the years, it just kind of makes sense, like oh Diddy's done, but now it's like well who's next? Who's next? I know he was crying when he wrote that check. He Truth be told, he might have. I feel like some rich people have like just in case funds. You know, I feel like they have just in case funds where okay, if I need to pay somebody off, this fund that has 200 million. Let's just because Puffy is paid. You hear me? Puffy is paid. Puffy got money because Puffy is the only person on Bad Boy who ever made money. Okay, so Puff for sure has a lot of money, and I feel like there's also a fund that sits and waits in case somebody sue him, and the money comes from that. Because I was like, if they were to sue Puff, if they were to sue him, all the companies and all that stuff, I feel like that could bankrupt a person. So it's messy. It's messy. It's very, very, very messy. I also, y'all, because I'm gonna go live tomorrow. This was a quick little, little conversation because the story broke that they settled the dang on lawsuit already. But the stuff that Paula J. Parker was saying, we're gonna discuss tomorrow. The stuff that Party is saying about Megan Stallion, we're gonna address tomorrow. I'm gonna be live tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do it around 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern. A little chats of the gossip or whatever because other little things happen too, and maybe by that time more details of this settlement may come out. We may not know the amount of money, but we can see what's gonna happen. Okay. At the end of the day, I just feel like we're reading the complaints. He felt like I can't do shit but I can't do shit but settle. I can't do shit but settle. You know what I'm saying? He can sell properties or stocks in those companies. It depends on how much he wanted. Really. You know. Because again, if the rumors are true and the lawyer is saying that she was trying to get 30 million, that means in the settlement she had to have gotten more than that. Or or if before she was asking for 30 million and they kept declining to pay her the 30 million. Maybe she got the 30 million. It can go it really can go either way. All we know is, she has money now. But if what she put in the thing is true, she deserves it. She deserves it. I feel like when you are with somebody and they are this multi-million or billion-dollar person and they treat you like pure shit for years, and then they kind of taunt you with, oh, I love Cassie so much, you know what I'm saying? And that's aggravating too. I want my money. You worth a billion? Okay, give me 40 million. That ain't even that's chump change. If because I thought somebody said Diddy was a billionaire or was about to be one. Okay, even if you have 500 million, even if you are a half a billionaire, if you have $500 million, and I'm suing you for 30, give me my 30. Give it here. Put it in my pocket. Because if you ruining my mental, emotional, and physical well-being for about 10 years, I deserve what I'm getting. I deserve every penny. And the fact that when folks kept on saying, why is she doing it now? She probably had to get herself mentally stable enough, emotionally well enough to even speak about it. Because so many people go through trauma and it's too painful to talk about. Think about it, going through the kind of trauma that she allegedly went through per her reports. It's like when somebody in your family die, you know what I'm saying, and the trauma of the grief, it hits you. And even after the person has been passed away, having to talk about them or how you lost them, having to talk about a painful moment in your life where you felt like you did not know what to do. It's a hard thing to deal with. And you have to kind of, you know what I'm saying, build yourself up to be strong enough to talk about things. So to me, that's why sometimes people who are abused, we do not initially say anything because we trying to figure out how strong we is. And she was young when she got with him. And even though, once she was done with him, she was like in her early 30s. She had been beat down for, over 10 years. And some abusers feel like, well, they won't be strong enough to even face me. They won't be strong enough to stand up to me. And sometimes you have to just take the time to build up your strength because nobody really wants to face their abuser. Nobody really wants to have to, debate and argue with or fuss back and forth with the person they accuse of harming them. So sometimes it may take a year, 2 years. Hell, it may take 40 years. You never know. And I'm telling y'all, ask y'all grandmas, ask y'all great grandmas, ask y'all great aunties, and stuff. Ask the older women in your families about what they had to endure before. So many people do not discuss what their life was like before they became your mama, before they were your auntie, before they were your grandmother. Because, back in the day, older people didn't tell the younger folk about that. You didn't know that granddaddy was beating on grandmama at first. And then eventually he stops. You don't know that, this and that happened because nobody discussed it. So people live through trauma. And then once they get strong enough, they'll discuss it. And that's what she did. And now we know. And now we will never look at him again the same way. I won't. And Diddy used to be like, I was a fan of Diddy. I had liked the music he produced. Not now. This is the thing now. Do we have to stop listening to Diddy? Do we have to pull out our Kelly? I feel like, because we not supposed to watch the Cosby Show. We not supposed to listen to R. Kelly music. Are we not allowed to listen to the stuff that Diddy handled? I don't know. I mean, because anything that he did, he getting paid for. So I'm like, are we? Is he canceled? Is Diddy canceled? Child, we gotta have a meeting in the morning, y'all. We gotta figure out if we gotta stop stop listening to stuff that Diddy did or not, because I don't know. Um, child, I wasn't even looking down at y'all comments. Let's see. Let me see. Plus, she had a certain amount of memory loss from the drugs. I'm sure she had to collect her thoughts, and sometimes I feel like he thought of her career to keep her under control on top of everything else he owns her. But yeah, I do feel like sometimes even if your memory is not foggy from the abuse, sometimes it's foggy just from you having to forget the bad times. You sometimes push those bad memories to the back of your brain. Um, so it really could be that too. That not only did she have memory loss from some of the abuse she alleged that she had, it could be she pushed stuff to the back of her brain to just protect herself. Um, that's a lot of hard to figure it out. That's yeah. I don't think Diddy would be canceled like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, because now I'm wondering if Diddy and Cassie have been going back and forth for a little while. That was why he was able to sell so fast. Again, yeah, I think he had money sitting on the side. In my opinion, and because his lawyers and them said, allegedly, that they had been back and forth in it for about 6 months because there was Diddy's side was alleging that Cassie's side was for the past like six or so months had been trying to get them to pay 30 million. So he was aware that maybe not a lawsuit. I believe they were saying that he was being told about a book she was writing that would have exposed all of this stuff. Uh, what happened to her is probably embarrassing, and she also had to gain the courage to let everybody know what she did, all the sexual situations she was put in, and that's something else. Honey, we gonna cuss Paula J Parker out tomorrow. The reason I don't want to do it is because I want to be able to read what they have to say. Okay, because even though I had because I was prepared, honey, with part of their progress stuff, but I can't see because I ain't got my glasses on. So tomorrow we'll go over, the bush that she said that we know is wrong as hell. Um, but yeah, I agree. When people question, well, they're an adult. If they want to, if sex is this and they can say no, it's like no. People at times do things, you know, in their sexual relationships to please their partner, even if it's not something they would typically do. And that's why I said yesterday, I was like, when folks were saying, "Oh, she could be lying," I was like, the stuff in the complaints and the accusations is stuff that's embarrassing to her, because having to talk about in her in what she said of him. I'm trying to say stuff without saying stuff because it's late. But him, having her have sex with male hookers. You know what I'm saying? That's embarrassing. That's fully embarrassing because it makes it look like, well, she was just a willing participant in his freakiness, and that ain't true. And yeah, so we know what Paula. Yeah, I have what Paula said, but I can't because I'm in the bed, y'all. I'm Let me get the camera on. I'm in the bed and stuff, TV on and all that. So I don't want to. I want to be able to read what Paula said, and we'll have a full conversation about that tomorrow. Because I'll be live tomorrow around either 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern. To have a bit of a gossip chat. and whatnot. Because, again, stuff that Positive Parker said, the stuff that Party is saying about Meg Thee Stallion, and it's other little stuff, y'all. But that's all I have, y'all. We just had to quickly discuss the fact that, child, settled. They settled. And we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie, her family, all the love. And I'm sorry, all the best love. And, and again, they both put out little statements, per the New York Times. So, I mean, the world is shocked, honey. That, and this, again, I'm going to say it one more time, y'all, because it's just crazy that the day after these bombshell allegations of this crazy 10-year plus relationship of just, hey, it's damn as hell, you ask me. You know what I'm saying? It's down there. So we'll get fully into Apology Park and all that stuff tomorrow, y'all. Well, later on today, because after midnight here. But I hope y'all enjoy this quick little conversation. But honey, they just said you can have this money, girl. Take this, take this settlements. Okay, I don't want to go to court. But Diddy, now you look more guilty. You look, because a part of the settlement. This is my thing. If I'm settling with somebody who accused me of stuff, a part of the settlement would have to be I would be able to say what parts I am vehemently denying happened, so that people can know I'm not just saying, yeah, I did that shit. I think sometimes settling without being clear and saying, hey, this stuff is not 100% true. I'm not settling because I think I did that shit. I'm settling because some of it is her recollection, and I want to move on. Okay, but child, ain't no point in settling once the thing come out. He should have settled before well, you know what he felt. He probably felt like she's a nobody. For lack of a better term, like Cassie has not, no tea, no shade. Cassie has never been the star. Cassie had a couple songs we know about, Me and You. And then she kind of, morphed into Puffy's girlfriend. And for all those years of them being together, when they broke up and she got her husband, Alex Fine, had the two kids. But Cassie's never really been this famous, well known person because of any other reason besides that one song of her dating Diddy. So I feel like he may have thought no one gonna care about what she say. So she's not gonna say nothing. Because who can compete with me? So part of me feel like he probably thought she was bluffing and she would not really file a lawsuit because the stuff in the lawsuit makes her look bad in the eyes of somebody who feel like she just went along to get along. But to us people with common sense, in my opinion, I feel like no, she went along because she felt like she had no choice. And there's a difference. And Diddy will never be looked at the same. People will always look at him as a monster in sheep's clothing because he made all these great songs and love, 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 but behind closed doors, he was beating Cassie ass. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that is the gotcha because the person who was abusing you feels like that person don't have enough power to go up against me. She don't have enough power to put out the story and people will believe her over me because I'm Puffy. I'm Diddy. People they be thinking the person won't do it because they won't be believed. And everyone read that damn thing and everybody believed it. Everyone believed her. And one day she got the world, well, at least a lot of people. She got all of us to read a 35-page complaint against him. And we all was like, he did that shit. He did it. And I think once he realized, oh shit, she put it out. She did it. Oh shit. People are believing her. Oh shit. People are in my comment section and they're talking cash shit, which is why he limited the comments on his social media because people were commenting in support of Cassie. So I think once he realized, oh, this is really happening, oh, they're believing her, oh, they're trying to connect me to how Kim Porter passed away. Oh, they're bringing up this and that and that and this. So all, old audios, old videos, old interviews, just old memories of who Puff has been since we've known Puff all came out in the same day. People who knew about things that happened all came out in the same day. So much about him and who he is all came out in one day. I know usually accusations happen and it takes about a week. It'd be like a full week of little by little stuff coming out. But no, everybody was sitting on ready. Jock said this back in the day. The security dude said this back in the day. Cassie talked about her ATV accident she had. That probably wasn't an ATV. You know what I'm saying? All these things. Kim Porter passed away in November, and then the day before or the day after her death anniversary date or whatever, this comes out. They showed a dang on child, a psychic who years ago said, in November 2023, something gonna pop out about Diddy. We like, what? So, you know, we have Kimora showing her love and support. D Woods, not Amber Rose, Aubrey O'Day, Dawn. You just have people who are like, nah, we not going to not say nothing. And that was just in one day. So again, when Aubrey O'Day said that Diddy was giving folks back their publishing, and a part of being able to get back your publishing, you had to sign the documentation that said you cannot speak negatively about Diddy in any of his entities. That seemed like he knew something was happening and knew I need to put my artists who have also been assholes to on NDAs. Period. Because the bodyguard dude who talked about him and Kim talked about Puffy and Kim fighting, which was all over the media, and him saying, they had a volatile relationship, but Kim wasn't going to take being beaten up. And how Kim that one time stabbed Diddy with a corkscrew in his hand or the wrist. So little by little, stuff that has been falling into place. Even the fact that, you know what I'm saying, Diddy is almost losing his relevancy, losing his connection to being, the big boss or whatever, down there in New York. Well, not down there, but around there in New York. And even now, the fact that what happened with him is going to affect Carisha. Because all on social media, people is in her comment section and commenting on her things and tagging her and things, asking her, "You gonna stick by that man? I wouldn't do." So now she's being affected too. Because if you're with him, do you support abusers? Do you not believe women? You know what I'm saying? All that comes to play. And then she has to hope if she does do interviews, people don't ask her about this. Now the thing is, Carisha has nothing to do with what went on with Diddy and Cassie because she wasn't around at that point in time. But it do make people feel like, what is he doing to you? Is he controlling you? Is that why you always wearing white nail polish? Because Kathy said that he loves, he requires his women to always be in white polish. And they said, well, we always see Carisha, and when she's with Diddy, her nails are white. So things have been happening for years. It's just coming out now. And even though he settled with her, That don't mean that anybody else who he has affected in some way or the other may not come out and speak their piece. Now, we won't know if they have the same, storyline, truth behind it that Cassie has. But, child, we gonna see. We gonna see. Because I'm pretty sure it ain't over. Now, y'all, I am done. It's 12:30. I gave y'all time when I was like, I'm gonna be chilling. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I will talk to y'all later. We'll have a full-fledged live later today on the channel. I want y'all to go to bed. Make sure to like the video. Okay, if you are rewatching, please comment in the comment section. You can follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. The talk. Be careful how you treat people because it might come back and just bite you in the ass, and you gotta pay all that money. How we shall see. But I gotta go, y'all. I love you all. Bye.